Hello everyone and welcome back to round 4 of Modern. We finally don't have Jund. We got two new decks up here. We got Jonathan Tople on Death and Taxes versus Alan Guttag on Tribal.
This is a sweet matchup.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I can think of a lot of ways this would go. My guess is it's pretty even. One thing I will say is that Leon and Arbiter is going to be a hell of a card here when it works. This Tribal Flame Zoo deck, for those of you who aren't super familiar with the makeup of it,
it's got a 5-color creature deck, right?
Yeah, it sort of looks like a zoo deck of old, like a Knight of the Reliquary, you know, Baneslayer Thundermaw Hellkite deck, like from about 3-4 years ago. Except for it splashes for like Blood Crypt and Breeding Pool to get all 5 colors to play Tribal Flames.
Tribal Flames, yeah.
And then because you're in blue, you play some random jank like Guys to Saint Draft, and but it's basically just a it's not even really a zoo deck because you're not playing that many animals. It's not like you're playing Kurdape. He's probably playing Wild Nacatl,
yeah,
and possibly Loxodon Smiter Elephants.
Goyf.
And he's got Goyfs, but Goyf is not really a zoo card either. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Zoo's kind of an annoying name. Zoo got its name from Nacatl, Kurdape, Loam Lion, and that's not what people use it to mean anymore.
Right.
Now people say
when it made sense as actual creatures.
Right. Now people say you're playing Zoo if you
have
just
creatures.
Yeah, if you just play yeah, exactly. If you're just playing Nacatl, you become a Zoo deck, but that's really not what this deck is at all. This Tribal Zoo deck plays a really good mid-range game. It's got a lot of control elements. Is that Najani Vengeance in his hand?
I don't know. I saw Lava Man and 3 bolts or something like that.
Yeah, the Tribal Flame Zoo deck really plays like a pretty solid aggro control kind of style. You got
so
like
Jonathan usually plays Bant Nightfall. Now he's going with some Death and Taxes.
Yeah, I wonder what colors he's. I mean, I assume he's on mono white, but it could be like Eldrazi Taxes.
Right, could
black,
be white, green,
could be black, white. Yeah, but
I guess they're not white green.
well, usually people would call green white hate bears, but
sure.
You never know.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. But for the first time I saw started watching Modern or whatever, I saw this deck and I thought it was green white just because of Horizon Canopy, and it took me a while to realize.
Well, here's the thing.
There is no green.
There's a couple subtleties in this nomenclature. The first one would be that when you talk about green-white hate bears decks, there are really 2 styles. There's one that plays like a beatdown plan, like Loxodon Smite or even Wilt Leaf Liege. Then there's another one that goes for kind of a an ETB trigger synergy where you're playing Flicker Wisp and Kitchen Finks, and Restoration Angel and Blade Splicer.
And Coco.
And the ETB one really does resemble Death and Taxes with a green splash, whereas the green-white one that's playing Voice, Smiter, you know, Wilt Leaf Liege, that deck is not really Death and Taxes, but you could call a green-white Flicker hate bears deck Death and Taxes.
Yeah. All right, so Alan's hand looks pretty good here. I think his opening only had 1 land in 7. This time he's got 2. He's got Lava Man, and I think a Path. So
turn 1 Aether Vial seems good.
That is a Johnny Vengeance. That's for sure.
Yeah. So this Tribal Zoo deck is pretty similar to the Naya midrange deck that I play. He's just also got blue.
Right.
And I don't even know if he has actual black cards. He might have like Thoughtseize in the sideboard.
Might take a look through. He's got Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, he's got 2 Snapcasters, just for the Tribal Flames value. But it's also because Snapcaster Path is good.
Are you sure? Snapcaster Path, that's a crazy combination.
Yeah, the 2 cards that people don't play together a whole lot, but Snapcaster Path is obviously a decent play.
Laid up with the hierarchy.
I think actually Alan invented that play.
the combo.
So let's see if do we have a 1-drop to put out with this? Doesn't look like it.
No, he does have a Arbiter there, I see, and also looks like
a Thalia.
Yeah,
Thalia is not very good in this matchup.
Right.
Your opponent has Tribal Flames, but they're happy to pay 3 for it to wipe anything you have or to deal 5 damage to you, especially when the Tribal Zoo deck has its own mana.
What do you think we name with that? I'm thinking human.
I'm thinking human too.
Yeah, there's Thalia. Oh, we do have something to violin.
What is it?
It's a Thraben Inspector. Nice. That's good.
Yeah. So Thraben Inspector is not good in the matchup, but
it's a good card. It's good in every matchup.
That's not really true. In this matchup, you don't want to be paying 2 mana for that clue. I would wager to say you'd rather have an Elvish Visionary instead of that Thraben Inspector.
That might be true. He actually named Angel on the Cavern of Souls, not human.
He named Angel?
Yeah.
Well,
giving some information away. Now we know he's playing Resto.
Yeah. Well, a mono white Death and Taxes better be playing Resto.
Sure.
If you're not playing Resto, you're doing it wrong. It's like the best card in the deck.
So Nacatl is currently a 2/2. Easily gets to a 3/3 with the crack of that fetch. Although if we get this is actually Jonathan can almost bait Alan into cracking this fetch line and then violin an Arbiter in response.
Sure.
Just like get in there with Thalia. Here's Blade Splicer.
Yeah, I think he is going to go for that line. I wonder if Alan sees it and will avoid fetching, because he knows he can pay 2 on his next turn. But he probably is.
Well, he has to not. Ooh, yeah, this is gonna. Be
Oh, he's gonna get blown out.
Yeah.
I do not block, dude. Just take the 2 damage.
He just took the 2
okay,
damage.
thank God. Yeah, that would have been a total blowout.
Yeah.
Lose your Nicodle, get Stone
In
Rain.
fact, yeah, he didn't even path just for fear of it. Definitely heads up play there.
Yeah, very good play by Alan, not fetching.
And we see he has a.
So Jonathan is going to violin, make him pay the 2.
Right, but now he can pay with Hierarch in the other one.
But that is effectively going to time walk Alan unless he has.
He does it. Well, no.
A 1-drop.
Right, he has path, but of course he can't play that through Thalia. So.
Yeah. If he had another Nicodle, he would be okay. God, Jonathan really deployed his hand very quickly.
Yeah, he's got a pretty big board presence. Although Nicodle does hold down the fort against everything except the Golem token.
Yeah. I think if Alan were on the play, this would look way different. But this is, Jonathan had a hand where with the Vial on, because the Vial on the draw right now would probably have been pretty bad, but the Vial on the play here was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan, it looks like Jonathan, cast, your Storm decks cast Empty the Warrens. Well, Jonathan played, I don't know, Empty the Gavany. He just went, he just went boom, boom, boom.
Empty the townsfolk.
Empty the townsfolk. So let's see if Alan can. So I'm not sure why you get the Sacred Foundry.
And I'm certainly not sure why you get it untapped. I guess if you. Oh, he's Lava Man. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. So I would have been in favor of getting the Stomping Ground, though, if you had it, because double green seems way more useful than double white. Because I'm pretty sure Alan does actually have 1 Scavenging Ooze main board, but maybe he doesn't. That might be in the sideboard. I don't fully understand the point of the Sacred Foundry.
Yeah, you do already have white with Hierarch as well, so.
Yeah, so I can't think of a reason that would ever need triple.
Wow, Jonathan top deck a path here. That is super good.
That is super good.
Path Nicodle away, and
you definitely path the Grim Lavamancer, right?
I guess it kills your whole team. Yeah.
He won't even get a land.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, he went for Nicodle.
That doesn't seem right.
Well, Nicodle blocks everything, right? Lava Man can gun down some things over time, but now he can attack with a lot more.
So those lands aren't in exile, right?
No.
So I think he wants
Nicodle should.
Yeah. That's actually relevant for the Lavamancer right now. So
yeah, you're right.
Hopefully Alan changes that. If he doesn't change it, maybe someone should mention it. But yeah, we don't want to see him pretend to exile that Nicodle that's already in exile.
And look at the Raven Inspector getting in there.
Card's not good in the matchup. I'll tell you that right now.
Does 1 damage.
It's definitely not good in the matchup. Though it was nice to be able to violin for 1.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what is? I'm not sure what Jonathan's last card is. Wow, Alan falls all the way to 4. Whew.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
This one's looking over. Alan has a bunch of removal spells, but you can't use them through Thalia.
So if we had a top deck Bonfire with Thalia here, you could still only do it for 1 mana. So, but that would kill Thalia and
Blade
Splicer. Would not kill Thraben Inspector.
So he can cast. So this is a pretty good blocker, and he can cast one of these 2 spells, either Bolt or Path. The problem is he kind of has to get rid of Thalia. Like, oh, he has something to violin here as well. Yeah, this one's probably over.
Oh yeah, GG.
Are we responding to the Vial? Oh, we can kill Thalia and then use our Path. Sure. But now we can't block.
Right.
You might have to path the Golem token. Because that's the only thing that gets through Nicodle currently. I would almost venture to do this after whatever comes in comes in. Like, right? Because it's a flicker risk, sure, but he can just. I think Alan kind of jumped the gun there. Right? Because if flicker risk comes in, he can just target whatever is going to be flickered.
He dies anyway, so.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Niapile has a very good matchup against Death and Taxes. But I think really what's getting Alan here, first, Jonathan kind of had the nuts, and he also Jonathan also navigated his Arbiter very well by using it as the Vial for the gotcha factor. Much better than playing it out, because usually if you play out that Leon and Arbiter, which did huge work there.
Right.
But usually if you play it out, it just gets bolted, and then it's not a big deal, which Alan very easily could have done. But there we just saw, I mean, Alan having, I would guess Alan has something like 12 fetch lands, and that shit really gets to you in this kind of matchup. Whereas, you know, a deck that's not trying to play Tribal Flames doesn't have that many.
Man, I really don't. That last turn there, I feel like Alan could have gotten back into this game. He had 2 more removal spells in hand. If he would have been able to like block with Lava Man, Hierarch, and Nicodle, tap Lava Man, kill one of your dudes, tap Hierarch, path another dude, eat something with Nicodle, like he would have actually made a pretty big impact on the board.
So I don't think you're at that life total at 4.
Well, I mean, sure, he would be super low. He'd probably take like 2 or maybe even 3, but
yeah, so
I don't think he was dead.
So the problem is there that he has to Lava Mancer the Flicker Wisp, or he basically just died because if he gets put to 1.
He had multiple ways. No, he has the Lava Man Thalia, so you can cast Path, right? No matter what. But he could have used Lava Man as a blocker first and then done it or something. Like I feel like he wasn't necessarily dead that turn.
I guess you could be right. My read of the board was that Jonathan had too many creatures for it to matter for Alan when Alan was stuck on 2 lands Hierarch. But you might how many removal spells did he have in hand?
He had a Bolt and a Path, and Lava Man. So that's at least 3 things getting away. He could, if Jonathan attacked with everything, he gets Nicodle to eat something.
Well, Alan also didn't have double red to play Bolt and Lava Mancer.
No, I know, but so he could play Path instead that turn. And then he untaps his Bolt.
Sure. You could be right. The whole time there, I was sitting there thinking that.
Of course, you know,
Jonathan's board was too
still
wide.
had a bunch of cards. He had a Clue. He had a Horizon Canopy you could crack, but.
Oh well, that's part of my problem. I was thinking. I just realized why I misevaluated that board state the whole time. That whole time I thought the Clue token was a 3/3 Golem. But it was a Clue token.
Still an artifact, but not a 3/3.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe Alan could have navigated that better and gotten out of that.
I think he was really worried about whatever was getting vialed in there, and I'm not sure why. Like, sure, okay, I guess the Flicker Wisp blinked Nicodle, so maybe he was then dead without a blocker, but I don't know.
Yeah, if Alan has a Hushwing Griff, comes up real big in this matchup. Stops Flicker Wisp, stops Resto, stops Clue tokens off of whatever it's called.
Stop Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it does is stop his own Snapcaster.
Maybe not a huge deal.
Am I right in thinking that Tamiya seems really good in this matchup?
Tamiyo Field Researcher. Yeah, definitely.
Alan's got 2 Tamiyo Field Researcher, and
this is a great hand for
I think that's kind of the reason to play the deck. Yeah, is that Tribal Flames, Pride Mage, Land, Goyf, Hierarch,
and Path.
Yeah, that's a pretty good hand.
And yeah,
this is the kind of hand that I don't think Death and Taxes can really beat when Tribal Flames is on the play.
I don't know if I saw that. It almost looked like a Keranos at the bottom of his deck. Keranos.
He is playing Keranos.
He is? Yeah, that's definitely what it was.
Yeah, that's probably what you saw. So the nice thing about this matchup is if Alan is on the play like he is, he actually just top decks better than this Death and Taxes deck.
Yeah.
With the slight exception of sometimes Restoration Angel is a really good top deck.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just not. Like you always top deck better with like Nicodle is so much better than Thalia or than Leon and Arbiter. Or than basically anything that your opponent... And Nicodle is one of your worst top decks.
Look at that. Hierarch getting in there is a 2/3.
Yeah, easy money.
And I'm not even sure if Jonathan has a play here. He does not. He's like 3 Restos, a Path, and a Flicker Wisp in hand or something. His hand is very expensive.
That seems bad. He's got a Horizon Canopy. That's going to start... He's going to have to be taking... If that's his only 3rd land, I mean...
He's getting clocked by this.
He's going to take some life
Pride Mage
from this Canopy. Yeah.
Goyf comes down
for
here.
4.
I mean, Goyf is actually super small on this board, but...
Yeah, it's a 1/2, but it's not like it matters against Death and Taxes, who has no burn damage.
No board presence. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's the zoo. We got our lions, we got our Lurgoyfs, and we got our
our lions, Lurgoyfs, and cats. Oh my.
That's my favorite zoo. I think I actually saw one of those Lurgoyfs at the Cincinnati Zoo last week.
Oh yeah. Hans, run, said Safi Eriksdotter, as she strolled her way into a time spiral printing that she didn't deserve, but turned out to work really nice. So
there's well.
So that Blade Splicer seems super weak, and
well, it's good in that it has 2 bodies.
Yeah, and if Jonathan can keep that thing alive, and untap to resto it with a 4th land,
Yeah.
it becomes good. But if you're Alan, you play around the resto, and when you play around the resto, it's really bad.
Yeah.
You never use a removal spell on it, and you wait for him to resto, and then you blow out the resto play.
Yeah. Jonathan, the rest of his hand, I think, is double Flicker Wisp, Resto, Sunlands. So he doesn't actually have the 4th land, but of course you could always draw one.
Sunlance seems like a huge trap for Jonathan to bring in here. Sunlance is great against decks like Elves.
Oh man,
and Merfolk.
This is giving me flashbacks to when I used to destroy people with Tamiyo Field Researcher.
Tamiyo is
look at this.
Tamiyo
comes in here, minuses, freezes both your dudes, get in for like 7.
Yeah, exactly. Victor and I talked about this last week. I personally think Tamiyo is the best 4-drop walker in Modern. Better than Nahiri, better than Gideon, better than Jace Architect of Thought. Debatable against a Johnny Vengeant, but Alan has both, so you can't go wrong.
Sure. It gets the -2 twice in a row.
Yes.
And that literally might just lock the game
Yeah, the
up.
-2 twice in a row is disgusting. It is, I mean, if you ever cast the card Sleep,
No.
it's a 4-mana sorcery that puts your opponent's shit to sleep.
Yeah, it freezes them.
Tamiyo does that, but in a more powerful, versatile way.
I think that's got to be the play. Just minus or down? Oh, he's going up for cards.
I guess you could use more cards, but you can also put him to a super low life total here.
Yeah. I mean, so Nakala's a 5/5.
Yeah. I guess one reason not to minus here is that you get blown out by Resto, who untaps and double blocks.
On your next turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a reason not to minus on this. The next activation, right?
Sure, but this way you get guaranteed cards. Also, the Exalted triggers are really, really valuable here.
Wow, I think
so
Jonathan drew another Resto.
Does he really have 4 in hand?
I do not think. No, he's 3. Or no, his hand was double Flicker Wisp and 1 Resto. Now it's 2 Restos and 2 Flicker Wisps.
Okay.
Man.
He's got to pay life. He's thinking to himself right now, why do I play these Horizon Canopies?
I think he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's just dead.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, we're paying life. I mean, we get to flicker our blade splicer.
Yeah, so
nice.
that seems terrible against Tamiyo.
Yeah.
Especially when he has to keep paying life for this canopy. Oh my god.
And Alan has the tribal.
Wait, doesn't? Yeah, Alan has a tribal. He just wins here. You just minus.
For sure.
You minus swing out and tribal flames him, because he either has to chump block or you get in for 3 damage.
Well, no, he could get in with 2, I guess. With.
I guess tribal flames isn't even 5 damage. It's only 4 damage right now.
Yeah, he's not necessarily dead.
No, but you make him. You effectively make him dead by making him chump block. Like these chump blocks mean you just lose.
Oh, he also has a path. And this other land to go get another.
Wait, Alan has a path?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's game.
Where goes Flicker Wisp? We can get another basic source with, or type of basic land with our wooded foothills there to make tribal flames. Yeah, that does it, 'cause now he only has 1 blocker. So Goyf has leveled up to a 2/3. Really impressive.
Yeah, Goyf is the best level up card they ever printed.
You don't do anything. You just play your spells and you level up.
Yeah, level up 0. Okay, so he takes 4. You tribal flame him for the last 4.
Wow, how bad is it though that Jonathan can't even resto these golems to untap them because they just go away?
Yeah.
Pretty good play there from Alan.
Yeah, so they both sort of went off on each other. The play in the draw seems to be a big deal, but I still think that Alan is favored in this matchup. But I think the Leonin Arbiter cheese is good enough for a lot of Alan's hands.
Right.
But your overall card quality is just higher in the Zoo deck.
Yeah. So we saw Tamiyo in action there. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking what Jonathan can do. I really think you don't want the Sunlance.
Well, I think it's important to kill Nakatl, because that blocks all of your creatures.
So, I think the best way to answer Nakatl is by, like, flashing in.
Yeah.
Is for one, flashing in Restoration Angels and flash blocking with 3/1 first strike or 3/3 first strike golems. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Sunlance is worth, especially because Sunlance doesn't hit white cards. So let's say he doesn't know what Alan's playing. Let's say Alan plays something like, I don't know, a voice of.
Oh, it doesn't hit Pride Mage.
Yeah, it doesn't hit Pride Mage for one. But you know, there's all kinds of cards that might miss. I mean, shit. Alan could be playing like something like an Imposing Sovereign, you know, out of the sideboard.
These creatures come and tap your opponents.
Yeah. You have no like this tribe. I mean, Jonathan just saw Alan have a basic Plains in his Tribal Flames deck. You've got to know that he's got white creatures in there. The Sunlance is not going to hit.
White cards that he wants to cast. I mean, Path.
Yeah, obviously there's Path, but I mean, Sunlance just seems really bad. I'm a firm believer that Sunlance has its good matchups, and those are Affinity, Elves, and Merfolk. And outside of that, I can't get behind it. Thoughts on that comment?
Well, the one time I played Mono with your deck, I had an opponent try to Sunlance a Baneslayer Angel.
Yeah, you can't Sunlance. Yeah,
well,
Baneslayer Angel has 3 protections. It says protection from angels.
No.
I'm sorry.
Dragons.
From demons, dragons, and Sunlance.
And spells that can only target white creatures.
Yeah.
But right, it also only does 3 damage, right? So it wouldn't kill a Baneslayer.
No, it wouldn't. Was he gonna try to double Sunlance it?
No, he was trying to block to get some damage on it, and then Sunlance it.
But it has first strike.
But it has first strike, right? So no damage was put on the Baneslayer Angel, let alone the fact that Sunlance couldn't even target it.
So I think
it was just a comedy of errors.
I don't think Alan has a Baneslayer Angel, but I think he actually.
I very doubt that.
I think he does have a. I think he does have a Gisela.
Gisela?
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which also Jonathan can't beat. He's going to feel really dumb with his Sunlance against that because it even has 3 toughness.
Yeah. Jonathan does have his turn with Aether Vial.
So as we saw in Game 1, turn 1 Vial was good.
Yeah.
But generally my read on this is that Vial just puts you down a card. But if you can pick up tempo with it with
but I think
Thraben Inspector.
Jonathan has Cavern, okay.
And get the card back with your mana.
Name an Angel, all right. Passing the turn.
Why does he always name an Angel?
Well, he does. He does actually have the 2 mana one that you can't play on turns 1 or 2 or whatever.
Oh, Sarah Avenger.
Yeah.
Sure, but you just vial that shit in.
Right.
The thing about this is one of the best cards Jonathan can have, which I assume he does have, is Mirren Crusader.
Yeah, he's one in hand right now. Yeah.
And Mirren Crusader can't be cast with this Cavern of Souls. Like, why not name human?
Yeah.
Maybe he has other lands in hand, but
he has a Thalia in hand, but he opted not to cast that to leave up Sunlance, I guess.
Sunlance is a sorcery.
Well, then
that's another reason. Did you not know that?
Oh no, I didn't know
that's
that.
Another reason why the card is terrible. Like it has its good matchups.
So that means my opponent tried to cast it at instant speed as well. He had no idea what Sunlance did. I don't even think he read it. I think he's just like, wow, this does damage.
That's the thing. Sunlance is. I mean, in Modern, it should only be played in the sideboard of a deck like Mono White Martyr Proc or something.
Yeah.
And then you should only be bringing it in for Elves, Affinity, and Merfolk. And even against Affinity, it's kind of iffy.
So our Nakatala is a 3/3.
Seems good.
So now Jonathan has the option to Sunlance Nakatl. Great. Instead, he's just going to play Bladesplacer. All right. He could have played Thalia then, or he could have Sunlance Nakatl, then played Thalia, and then vialed in the Sarah Avenger. But he's just going to opt for this, which does currently block.
If Alan plays a creature with Exalted, he just swings through this.
Yeah. He also has Bolt in hand.
Breeding Pool Shocked. Seems good.
He's got Path. He's got both Path and Bolt in hand, actually. And a Johnny Vengeance, which we might see next turn.
That'd be sweet.
So here's Pride Mage. Yeah, there's your Exalted.
Yeah, so I think you swing for 4 and you don't really care what he vials in because you know that you're going to be... If he tries to double block this, you're going to 2 for 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're happy to kill his Blade Splicer Golem for... Okay,
and Jonathan,
so Jonathan does the right thing and takes it.
Just going to take it. So here is probably Sarah.
Probably the Angel, yeah. And now I think you just bolt it. You bolt it right now. You bolt it right now. Don't let him play a land and Angel it. No, you got to bolt it right now.
Nope, too late.
I mean, there's no way Jonathan... The thing is, they have to play a waiting game. Jonathan can play a 4th land and then try to proactively resto this Blade Splicer, but then he gets blown out by Bolt.
Well, now Jonathan has a vial on 3 that he can also use to Flicker Wisp stuff in.
Sure. Yeah, I really think the best play for Alan was to bolt the 3/3 Angel proactively while Jonathan had no mana and no vial.
So there goes Nakatl. Does die to Sunlance. So it was pretty useful there. Now we're going to bolt. I guess we bolt
it's okay. It's a 1 mana spell for a 1 mana spell.
Now he's going to bolt the Angel. Yeah, this is a bad news for him. Flicker Wisp is going to get vialed in.
Yeah, he should. See, you know that you're going to bolt that Angel anyway. Why would you wait till he had vial up and more mana? Like, I don't get that. Definitely a misplay by. I mean, I think it's definitely a misplay by Alan.
Wow, and Jonathan just let it go.
Wait, what?
I think he really wants to flicker the Blade Splicer.
That doesn't get you ahead. A 3/3 flyer is better than a 3/3 first strike.
Yeah, I would think.
And also, does everyone know that the Kasali Pride Mage kills these golems?
Did you see that? So he can't actually cast Mirror Crusader since he named Angel on that.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I knew he wasn't going to be able to. but did everyone catch that Pride Mage can blow up a golem?
Yeah, I didn't even think
I have no idea.
It can also blow up the Ether Vial, which I feel like
I have no idea why we valued that Flicker Wisp more highly than this Sarah. Sarah Angel's a great card here. Allows you to get in over the top. I think both players have made a couple of misplays in the last turn cycle.
And now I think Alan has quite a bit of room. He's got Path Bolt and Tribal Flames.
Does he have a fourth land though? No.
No, he does have Goyf.
Goyf seems pretty good here. What is that?
1, 2, 3,
3, 4?
4. Yeah. No, it's 4 card types. It's a 4/5 with Sunlance.
Oh yeah, because Sunlance is a sorcery.
And at any point he can blow up the Ether Vial. And
remember when you said the Sunlance was good because he 1-for-1 against Nicodle? Well, actually, all Jonathan did was 1-for-1 against the Nicodle, and then introduced the only sorcery in these players' collective 150 cards.
Yeah, that's probably true.
To make these Goyfs bigger.
Yeah.
Great Sunlance, folks. You heard it here first.
I'm
getting too riled up about this, but Sunlance is terrible. Unless you're playing mono white Martyr Park.
I think Jonathan was considering cracking his Horizon Canopy there, but he literally cannot do that, or he won't be able to cast Mirror Crusader.
Yeah, I have no idea why he played Angel. I said this on turn 2. I'm like, why would you name Angel when you have Mirror Crusader? I didn't even know he had it in hand. I assumed it was in his deck, but he had it in hand, and he still named Angel. Like, what is the point of naming Angel?
I don't know, here comes Flicker Wisp?
I don't get it.
No? Maybe. I guess he could Vial in Crusader and then use his Horizon Canopy, but then he can't cast Flicker Wisp. Or Flicker Wisp Angel. No. It's an elemental, right?
No, it's a... oh.
I think it's an elemental.
Yeah, I think you're... yeah. I think you're right. I'm trying to... I thought it had some sort of kooky creature type, but I think it's kooky because it's not really an elemental.
Why is...
It doesn't seem like an elemental.
I don't think Alan understands how Flicker Wisp works. He just bolted the Blade Splicer in response to the Vial activation. He could just wait to see what it targeted. And now Mirror Crusader.
Right, you do have the time for the trigger to go on the stack.
Right.
Yeah, once you see the card. Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow, and I think that oh man. Jonathan drew Path and Arbiter, but he cannot play both of them as he only has 1 Might mana.
Man, this shit is just getting worse and worse.
He's really getting pinched here. He can't play. Well, he can Vial in Flicker Wisp, of course. But I mean, he just has a target to protect it. Basically, he doesn't really have any value from it now. So I guess he's just gonna pass.
So that's gonna give. This is interesting, actually. That's gonna give Alan a 4th land, which turns on this Tech Edge.
Yeah.
That's interesting because any other time that Alan would have played a 4th land, like out of his hand, he would have been able to use the mana before, like for example, to cast a Ajani Vengeance before Tech Edge came out.
He is getting hit for 7 here.
Let me just say that Ajani Vengeance totally shits on this deck.
Well, where you might see it next turn unless we get Tech Edged.
I don't think Jonathan can afford to Tech Edge, and he probably doesn't know about the Ajani Vengeance. So if we play this Ajani Vengeance and just kill the Mirror Crusader, we just win. Helix it, go up to 10 life, have a Planeswalker with 1 loyalty on board, and a Pride Mage.
Yeah, but we do know that Jonathan has the Flicker Wisp, so you can Violin.
Oh sure.
And we are Tech Edging, okay.
Tech Edge the Stomping Ground. Is that what we're doing? Stomping Ground? Okay.
So now with no red mana, Alan does still have Path. Oh, we need your Cameo. Yikes. Those 2 4-drops might get strained in his hand for a bit.
That's interesting. Alan really has been sort of strapped for mana, right? He's only drawn 3 lands all game. That 4th land was from Path. What turn is this now?
Well, I don't know. Both players missed some land drops. Do we think Jonathan... Okay, Jonathan can cast his...
well, to be fair, Arbiter. Jonathan's problem is his own fault.
Well, right. Sure. I mean, Alan definitely can't attack here. He also can't block Mirror Crusader, so he's going to have to use the Path on that. We're going to... What? Man. We are setting ourselves up for so many blowouts. Yep, here comes Flicker Wisp.
It's tough because you have to wait for him to do it. But
I mean, that buys him a turn, so that can't attack, but...
So I think he used the Pride Mage to blow this up, right?
Yeah, finally blown up Aether Vial.
Oh, I thought he was going to just take the Golem.
Yeah.
I think
I'm pretty sure that
I think it's better
dead
to,
here.
I think it's better to take the Golem there, right? Because then you're not just dead.
You know what's a really good draw when you have Plains, Island,
Karanos.
Pool? Karanos, God of Storms.
Yeah, maybe so Alan got a little overloaded on the big drops there and wasn't able to find that 4th land.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appraised that one incorrectly. I thought Alan was just going to be able to, I don't know, if he could have just...
He set himself up for way too many blowouts.
Sure, he
like,
did. Well, it's a problem, though, because there's that waiting game.
Well,
where
the thing, it was him reacting to Aether Vials before seeing what happens, right? So
yes, that is a problem.
Jonathan activated an Aether Vial on 3. He could have put in Flicker Wisp, or he could have put in the Mirror Crusader. Maybe he was going to put in Flicker Wisp and try to blink his Blade Splicer.
Right.
But then he didn't need to, consider that at all because once Blade Splicer was gone,
it's definitely important that you can. Yeah,
that was a bit of a timing issue. I think Alan was kind of not exactly clear on how Flicker Wisp worked or flickering effects. Like, I feel like he didn't know he was able to respond to them because otherwise it makes way more sense to just do that.
It's certainly true that there are a lot of times when you want to respond to the actual activation of Vial, like to a Lord effect, like something that works with state-based actions.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that case, against the Death and Taxes deck, yeah, you're absolutely right, Mario. He's got to wait to see what's up and respond to the actual trigger.
Right.
It's sort of like Vendilion Click, Someone clicks you, you say, all right, it resolves. And then... you wait till, if you have a bolt in hand, then it's your only removal spell.
Yeah.
You wait till it resolves, and you then bolt them. And then if they, sometimes people just show you their hand,
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, you can even wait to see who it targets because maybe they're not targeting you with the click.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
They target themselves sometimes with click.
You don't need to waste your spell on it or whatever.
Yep.
All right, but that was a pretty interesting matchup. Kind of both sided. I mean, we saw both decks do their thing really well there. And then both decks also struggle with mana weirdly, but Jonathan was able to pull through with the Aether Vial.
Yeah, I will say I definitely think the Tribal Zoo deck is favored here. Death and Taxes doesn't want to play against a Bolt Path deck that has better creatures than it.
Yeah.
But very strange turn of events.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, that will do it for round 4. So we will be back, hopefully, for round 5.
Yes, we will look.
Occasionally, if you watch the stream, you might know that sometimes literally every match ends up just being a split for players to go home.
But we've got 47 players here.
Yeah, there are quite a few people.
We could probably find.
We'll likely be able to find a match for round 5. So we'll be back in about 20 minutes for that. So don't go anywhere, guys. Thanks.